Welcome to the Checkered Shorts Podcast, a podcast of three fraternity brothers reconnected by their love of IndyCar. Join us for grid-rival IndyCar fantasy talk, predictions for upcoming races, and reactions to race day results and all things IndyCar. Let's go racing! Hey, hello, welcome back, Checkered Shorts. Moving on up, like the Jeffersons, up to number 36. Professor Andy, give us a little history about the number 36.
Number 36, I think it's a huge number in Indy 500 history. In that year, you're not going to believe all the history that happened at that 500. Okay? So let me give you the list, and you can tell me who the winner was. All right? So in that year, the Borg-Warner Trophy was presented for the first time. The pace car was given to the winner of the race for the first time, establishing those two traditions. The first three-time winner of the 500 happened in 1936. You know who it is yet? You got it?
No.
The last clue will give it to you. In victory lane, this driver wanted buttermilk to drink.
Okay. I don't remember that human being's name. But
1936, Louis Meyer won the 1936 500, drank buttermilk, which established the tradition. But I didn't realize all those other things had happened the same year. So basically the 500 and its traditions that we see today really started in 1936.
So you're saying Louis was a three-time winner?
Louis was a three-time winner.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think it was 33, 34, and 36, I think.
These are cool because I don't know what you're coming up with either. So I think it's a good piece of history. I've dabbled in IndyCar, IMS history, but these are truly good. So nice.
I think we could create our own IndyCar trivia game.
Right.
There we go. Yeah, Checkered Shorts Indy trivia.
That's good. That wasn't that's a doable one for, what I mean? Yeah. That's a lot of people could probably guess that. Yeah. So nice job. 36.
So we do come to you one day post-race, Portland. So we're going to give our race reaction. Just overall general thoughts from my perspective. It was quite an aggressive race, sometimes dangerous in nature. What did you guys think from the race?
I wasn't sure if we were watching IndyCar or NASCAR.
The race was good overall. I think better than Laguna. It had all of what us fans want to see. Action-packed racing, a little bit of bumping and banging, some strategies. I feel like a lot of times on those, those road courses, you have an idea of who's going to win. I don't think you had quite that in this race. So that left you on the seat of the edge of your seat, so to speak. So thought it was a good race.
Yeah. And, we've talked about it before, but Will Power getting a victory, good for him. I mean, I've not always been a fan of Will's, on the track, and off the track, but just really, really feel good for him. He deserved it. He's had a good year. He's had some unlucky breaks. He's been a solid performer all year. He's been the best performer on that Penske team, and to get to the checkered flag was nice to see.
I agree. It's good to see somebody else. It was good to he's humbled himself a little bit over the past couple of years, I think. And I think 44, still, cruising around those tracks, earning it. So he's still showing that he is a little bit to be reckoned with. So I was happy to see it.
I guess why this makes it difficult to have a real rooting vested interest in one racer, because from 30 laps in, I was just a disgruntled fan. I was like the guy who's the rooting for my team, starting quarterback, throws a pick six, and you lose him for the rest of the season on the opening play from scrimmage. That's what I felt like watching the rest of that race. So I was watching it, being mildly entertained, but at the same time, just really pissed on the inside.
Well, and then all of a sudden he was just in pit lane,
Yeah.
and like his car was getting pushed. You're like, had no idea that what was happening. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, he definitely had a really solid car, and probably it could have extended the championship. Another race. I truly believe that. It is sad because I think I would like to have seen that. I mean, it's nice. Congratulations, Alex Palou, on wrapping up the title, but I'd like to have seen that happen in Milwaukee when we're going to be there. But yeah, kudos to Alex.
Yeah, so then going into the race, we always do this each week. Who impressed? Who disappointed? And then I think we're going to do a little extra small segment this week about maybe we're a little disgruntled with the officials there at IndyCar. But let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Let's start with impressed and disappointed. Who impressed you?
I mean, I've been harping on this dude for a while. Rossi finally
there it is.
checked the box of earning a decent finish. And not to say that all of his races have been his fault, but it seems like he's better than what he's shown. And maybe, the talent's really catching up to him, and the hybrid's hurting him a little bit and just still figuring it out. But he got a top 5, so Rossi impressed me.
I'll go the guy that I've been supporting all year and who's really shown it in the last 4 races is Callum Ilott. Back-to-back 6 places.
Yeah, you're right. Great.
A little bit of strategy, but he held his own out there with speed, and so congratulations to Callum on a 6th place finish.
Well, since you guys picked up those guys, I'm going to go with just McLaren and talk about Lundgaard, because for the last 4 weeks, we keep talking about why he's ranked low in our power rankings.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes out and, gets the pole, but has to start at 7 and then ends up in 2nd. And maybe without a little assistance, which we'll get to later, maybe he got a little blocked at the end, intentional or not. Maybe he even pushes to set atop the podium.
Yeah, I thought he's probably the fastest car of the day. Truly, like he probably was the quickest car out there. Just couldn't find a way. Power was crafty, being a veteran, and wouldn't lie him around. But Lundgaard was definitely fast, and he showed that all weekend.
I think those lapped, or not quite lapped cars, but potentially becoming lapped cars helped Power out immensely. And helped Lundgaard to keep close to Power. But still a fun race to watch there at the end. One other guy is, we mentioned Armstrong, another top 10 finish, man. 10 out of the last 11 races, top 10 finishes. In general, just finishing a race. I don't know how many other people on the grid have finished 11 of those races. I wouldn't, probably not too many. So he's going to win one soon.
I'll throw one more in there, and this was all strategy, but Graham Rahal.
Yeah, great. Awesome. You're right.
RLL's been good on road courses all year. I mean, you go back to even when Lundgaard was with them, they were solid. And Graham used a lot of strategy to get up front, but once he was there, he held his place.
Yep. He's proving this year he's still got it a little bit, needs a little bit of help here and there. But if he gets up there, he can maintain it for sure. So, no, you're right. As a 4th place, that's pretty awesome.
All right. So who disappointed? I mean, it's clearly a disappointment to have car failure, but I don't know that anyone was more disappointed than the guys on that team, because I think they wanted to extend it another week, and I think they felt good about where they were to get that done. But also, maybe, again, anytime you can get a finish on a podium, it's big for your team, big for your sponsors, another feather in your cap as a driver. So I think the number 5 team is probably pretty ticked off.
Yeah, that sucks for him. I mean, that's just not how you want to not finish a race by any means. It's just something that's not your fault. Or I think 2 people. I wouldn't say I'm disappointed. I wouldn't say I'm. Simpson Kimpfen was on a little hot streak there. Just didn't seem like he had it at all this week. I don't know if I missed something in the race or he didn't qualify well. Didn't look like, he was at the tail end of the real racers there. So I don't know what happened there. And not to say he's, the new Joseph Newgarden by any means, but was driving pretty well. And then Ericsson qualified 11th, finished 22nd. By all accounts, he's still safe for next year. He's coming back.
That contract must be airtight. It really must be, because that was the guy I was going to say, Pat. I'm glad to hear you say him. Like, he was fast. Like, he was fast in practice. He was fast in qualifying. Like, and he finished his 22nd. Like,
and for no good reason, right?
I don't think he was just ahead of Jacob Abel. Like, that's pathetic. Like, for a guy should be a 3-time winner of the 500, or could easily be a 3-time winner of the 500.
Sure.
Like, my goodness, Marcus, what is going on in the world? Let's go.
He's better than Devlin, probably better than Siegel, Schwartzman, Stingray, arguably. So, yeah.
But he sits what? He sits 20th in points.
Yeah.
Awful.
So I want to introduce a new segment, Brian. We're going to call it "We've Got Beef." So this week we got some beef.
I like this.
So if we were in this generation, we'd say we beefin'. But us guys from the 90s, we've got beef. So we got beef we got a beef with the officials this week, right?
Wait, this week they've been in my disappointed category the last two races.
That's correct. Yes.
Yes, I've got a problem with them. What Rasmussen did this weekend to Connor Daly was absolutely ridiculous. Like, and he's done that. I mean, this is the same thing we saw with Ferrucci earlier with Connor. When running guys off the track like Lundgaard and Palou at the end of the race, that happens. But when you take your car completely off the track to force a guy to also be off the track, like that's downright dangerous. And then when the guy comes back at you, you absolutely wreck him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was no question in what I saw, and we saw the replay several times, that Connor had the inside line.
Correct.
And Rasmussen just took him out. We're lucky that we didn't see another Simon Pagenaud tumble.
I agree.
Connor is very lucky to have walked away from that the way he did.
And Townsend kind of justified what the officials were doing. I think it was Townsend. Connor retaliated after the initial them both going off track. So he's like, it was kind of like, shame on you and shame on you. So we'll just call it a wash, more or less. That's what he said. So, but that still doesn't, if you spin them out going into a 30-mile-an-hour turn or something, okay. That's one thing, you know what I mean? But they said, tops of around 140 driving at that situation going into the barrier. So pretty ridiculous. Even in NASCAR, they did it. They suspended the guy who purposely wrecked in the Xfinity race.
Yeah, awesome.
It was the next day, I think, or might have been later. But maybe they won't, but I wouldn't be surprised. I hope they do, to penalize him somehow.
Yeah.
I think
you mentioned Townsend.
Sorry.
I would, Townsend stood on that side, but if you go back and watch Hinch was really fired up over that.
That's what I was going to say. I say Hinch took exception, and considering the three guys up there in the booth, he's the one who's been in those accidents, and I think he's been in some pretty serious ones. So his opinion held weight for me.
He's also a friend of Connor's. So keep that in mind.
But you can't have that standard.
No,
that's a pretty clear break of the rules, quote unquote. But that's just not the way you want people to be racing.
I would love to see this drivers meeting in Milwaukee. I would love to see it, because I'm going to guess some of those guys they got to stand up at this point. Rasmussen's done this multiple times now.
Again, it's not a little bang, bang, I don't like what you're doing, stop doing what you're doing. That was in a high-speed S-turns over there. So now they have to hold a standard. That's my biggest beef.
The thing is, though, until the IndyCar officials do something about it,
yes,
these guys aren't going to change.
And, totally agree. And that was one of the biggest. So, we got beef.
We beefing. Oh, what about this? What about this conspiracy theory segment? IndyCar conspiracy number 1 from Portland week. Let's hear it. What's the conspiracy from this week?
I like it. I love it.
I'm only going to say this because this was one of my grid rivals competitors this week, and I was watching my team, and my team was doing amazing. By the way, I still won, so
Yeah,
I count that.
Right.
But I could have really opened up the gap on first place. But why in the world did David Malukas come into pit with just a handful of laps left? Other than where did he come out when he came out of the pits? In front of Will Power, far enough that Will could get around him, and then you heard Will on the radio go, now block them like Kiffin was blocking me.
Yeah.
Like, you want to think conspiracy, is there any chance that is a Penske signed driver in a Penske affiliated car that David Malukas was sent in just to put him out there to protect Will in first place?
I like the conspiracy theory. I want to rewatch it to see, like, did he take 2 tires, like, to really, like, okay, we gotta go, or like half, just didn't take tires and half filled just to like time it out perfectly, or did he really need to come in and pit? I remember him coming out, but I don't remember the situation or if they even talked. I don't think they talked about it. No,
Well, I mean, Penske and Fox are now
theory.
Penske and Fox are now teamed up. So
That's right.
you know, we want to grow this conspiracy.
And let's call a spade. Like, Penske hasn't won a race all year. It's been 26 years since that was the case.
Yep.
Like, they didn't want that. They didn't want to see that. They wanted to see that streak of victories continue, and here was their chance. And they don't know what's going to happen in Milwaukee and Nashville. So
a Will Power goodbye.
Right.
We'll throw you one last one. Here it is, bud.
Yeah. I might have to play the X-Files theme behind this conversation.
I like this. It's definitely not the first time somebody's helped a teammate out by slowing other cars down, but no, I think the timing of it, coming out of pits, did he need to pit? I think you're onto something. I'm going to rewatch.
I don't remember Malukas coming in earlier.
Yeah.
We're getting worse get fuel mileage than anybody else throughout the race.
Sure.
So it just didn't make sense to me. They didn't say anything about tires going down or
right.
I just don't know what he gained by coming in.
Right.
So you'll all notice we all got our Kelly Landscaping hats. So I'm glad to say that our sponsor paid up, so we could put our gear back on. Brian and I were on strike because we missed a payroll.
Holding out on checks.
And so that brings us to the Kelly Landscaping pit of the week. Not much happening on pit road this week, but Pat, I'm sure you got something for us.
No, so before I get to my winner, there were some grumblings across social medias. One about the Fox not starting on, or the race not starting on Fox because of the live. I think it was just, how it played out. Unfortunately, they started the race 15 minutes later than anticipated to help offset it. So I think that's just is what it is. Live Golf probably pulls more ratings than IndyCar.
Have you watched it? It's
no, I haven't.
And I'm a golf spectator, so I like to watch golf, but that is very difficult to watch.
Sure. The other ones are the IndyCar officials. I mean, my point is we didn't catch too many shit pits this week, but there was one. All of a sudden, you see Pato being pushed down pit lane, and all 5 or 6 of his teammates, pit crews there, and one guy, slipped on a banana peel or something. Tried to catch it and then slipped on the same damn banana peel. So
thank God the AMR team is right there. Their response time is amazing.
Yes, right on top of it. So that poor soul, I'm sure he got ribbed after everything calmed down with Pato's car. But Pato award, stamp it, Kelly Landscaping shit pit of the week.
And
Sorry,
I want to
Pato.
know why they got one guy on their pit crew that literally is like Andre. It's like damn Bigfoot was running after the car and going to push it down pit road. Oh yeah, it's like Happy Gilmore.
Those guys are like all like former D1 college athletes, except for the guy who slipped on a banana peel. He did not look like that. So, yeah, that's the winner.
I think the last thing we got are our power rankings, Brian.
Yep. Power rankings. All right. A little bit of movement this week for us. We'll start at the top, though. Obviously, our series champion has claimed that number one spot. I don't see that changing. So Alex Pillow at number one. Pato, even though he had a bad finish, was strong again, and so he holds on to that second spot. Big jump, and I'll admit, for the first part of the season, I didn't even have this guy in my top 10, but at number 3 now we have Will Power. Will's gone all the way up to number 3, followed by Scott Dixon at number 4. Number 5, Christian Lundgaard jumps back up. Of course, that's a road course. We got 2 ovals coming. I'm going to predict he's going to be down about 7 or 8 by the time the season gets over, but we'll see what happens there. You guys mentioned him earlier in the podcast. Marcus Armstrong comes in at number 6, followed by his teammate Felix Rosenquist. Another solid performance by Felix. I thought he had more to give this weekend. Kind of fell back and just kind of got mired in traffic, I think. And then actually, we had a 3-way tie at 8, 9, and 10. We had the same 3 drivers, all 3 of us. We had them in different order. So those 3 would be Colton Herta, Kyle Kirkwood, and David Malukas, rounding out our top 10 in the power rankings this week.
Nice.
It is just interesting that many years you could probably get 80% accuracy at the beginning of the year picking a top 10. If you just said you got to pick 8 out of the 10, and at the end of the year that was a bet, you could throw $100 on it, you'd probably not get great odds because you could do that. If the beginning of this year, if you said, I want to throw $100 on picking 8 out of 10, there's no way. There's no way. No way.
Who's in that top 10 that you wouldn't have had at the beginning of the year?
Well, who would have been in there that we don't have in there that would push them out? But the ones I wouldn't have, Malukas wouldn't be in there. Rosenquist might have been. Yeah, he might have been at the top 10. But I mean, anybody that Scotty would have displaced, anybody that Newgarden would have displaced, anybody that you expected maybe Rossi would displace. I mean, those are 3 guys that I think you would anticipate being in the top 10.
Ferrucci finished top 10 in the point standings last year.
Yeah. I mean, I would take out Davey, Felix.
Lundgaard being new to McLaren. I mean, he wasn't, and no one was saying, oh my God, what a signing.
Armstrong didn't know anything. You put a Scotty Mack, Newgard. Yeah, it's a good point. I mean,
besides Pillow running away with the championship, it might be the most competitive, diverse group in a long time.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's why it would have been an easy bet. Oh, yeah, Newgarden's going to be in there. Oh, yeah, Scotty Mack's going to be in there. I mean, a couple that you'd really have to think about. But no, I think you're right. That's a great point.
It's made it pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
It has.
So next time we come to you, it's going to be episode number 37. We're going to be talking pre-race Milwaukee. We're going to be super excited. We're going to wait till next week so we build our energy because we are loading up and heading up north for the big race. Milwaukee's a great town. It's the facility there is a lot of fun with state fairgrounds right there adjacent to it. Those of you guys that are camping, we'll be there camping too. So come say hello if you run into us. But we're getting pretty excited. A couple races.
Should be fun. And hopefully this IndyCar schedule comes out soon for 26. They say soon. I think maybe before end of August. So we'll see. Fingers crossed it comes out ASAP.
And who knows? We may have some silly season details. I mean, this win by Power might trigger a contract or not at this point. Who knows what's going to happen there? So,
yeah, I mean, through all the talks of everything else we listen to, waiting to see what happens to Power before anybody else moves, which obviously makes sense. And I don't think with or without him, there's going to be more than 5 moves, maybe. So we'll see.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us with Checkered Shorts, and we'll catch you for episode 37 next week.
See y'all.